Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. My name is Imani Rankins, and I'm going to get us started on our presentation of Rankins and Associates Law Firm. On our agenda today, we have introduction, background, recruitment, incentive management, internal communication, and external communications. And on our team, we have me, Imani Rankins, as CEO, Anisha Shaka on recruitment, Daniel Delaperto on incentive management, Kiana Oliver on internal communications, and Ryan Hudson on external communications. And just as some background, at Rankins and Associates Law, we recognize the history of marginalized groups whose innovations were stolen in creative spaces and they didn't receive proper credit or compensation. Because of this, Rankins and Associates wants to be proactive instead of reactive, unlike most law firms. We want to come in before ideas get stolen, and we largely want to represent majority minority-led companies within the fashion, beauty, and hair care sector who are at a disproportionate rate ideas and innovations are stolen from. And in our organizational chart here, we operate on team basis dealing with different clients, and our central occupation is a legal assistant. What is a legal assistant, you may ask? Well, it's one of the most integral jobs to Rankins and Associates. This position is often filled by certified paralegals, law school graduates, 2-year and 3-year law school students, and masters of law students as well. Legal assistants act as a right hand to our attorneys, drafting legal memos, conducting research in the intellectual property space, as well as identifying key innovators within the fashion, beauty, and hair care sectors that deserve legal representation. And we value legal assistants because they do it all except for litigating. And we're going to kick it off to Anisha for recruitment.
Thank you, Imani. Next, we're going to cover how we recruit our essential workers, the legal assistant. They're imperative to our business as they really help with so many aspects of a case from start to finish. These are just a few of the many traits we look for, most of them kind of falling under essential personality trait, really showing how crucial personality is when we're recruiting. The top two personality traits we look for are conscientiousness and agreeableness. For conscientiousness, these qualities really help with more of the technical aspects of being a legal assistant, whether it's reading up on patent law or helping our lawyers with any documents. While agreeableness really just shows us that our applicants mimic the vision and mission that we have at Rankins and Associates. We really look for empathetic candidates and those who have that willingness to help. Here are examples of structured interview questions that show whether our candidates hold the certain qualities we want them to have. Each one really focuses on a different personality trait. So with question 1, it's looking more of that community focus and problem solving, really looking at that conscientious aspect of it. While question 2 really shows if our candidate has that initiative and creativity we want them to have. Other than a structured interview, we see how important it is to really get to know our assistant and how they're going to function with our other team members. But we also value the skills and knowledge that they hold. So we make them take both the personality and a technical exam. These two exams, along with the interview, fall into finding the right applicants who meet our KSAO model. In knowledge, those who have the education in patent law. With skills, those who've worked with legal documents, have done research and can hold interviews, and have certain attributes such as that they're efficient and hardworking and very empathetic. And of course, with our other, like we mentioned, we want someone who mimics our company mission and vision and can really mesh well in our culture. I'm now going to pass it off to Daniel to discuss incentive management.
Thank you, Anisha. Next, we'll talk about motivation and evaluation. In order for legal assistants to be properly motivated, they need to believe that an increased effort will lead to higher performance, which will lead to an outcome they desire. To explain this, we'll follow the EPO model for motivation and expectation. For legal assistants to exert an increased effort, they have to believe that the end state aligns with their personal goals. We start by setting both personal and professional goals that give them a sense of direction and present a challenge. Setting goals with the person allows for more buy-in in the company strategy. Additionally, providing training helps strengthen their knowledge and ability to perform, which strengthens the E2P link. By enhancing a person's knowledge, they're able to understand how the increased effort will lead to higher performance. Additionally, having clear evaluation schedules and metrics gives a person a better understanding of their job and what areas they need to improve on to get the desired outcome. Finally, the outcome is both financial and professionally driven. There are bonuses for client acquisitions, but also opportunities to promote and move within the firm. Clearly stating the standards for bonuses and criteria for evaluation creates an environment where the rewards are both equitable and performance based. Next, we'll talk about performance evaluations. Clear performance evaluations helps legal assistants understand what path to improvement they need to take, as well as allow for the opportunity to celebrate small wins. It's important to review and revise plans to continue making progress. The legal assistants will have monthly counselings from their direct supervisor, who is the attorney, and quarterly reviews with the incentives manager to ensure they are on track to achieve their goals and the corporate goals. The three principles we grade legal assistants on are client engagement, technical skills, and management skills. This review process reinforces the EPO model as it allows for management to get to know the legal assistants on a personal level and establish personal long-term goals that they want to achieve. Including them in the goal setting process, as well as connecting with them on a personal level, promotes more buy-in to the larger organizational goals and helps with their motivation to achieve. Next, we'll talk about internal communications with Kiana.
Thanks, Daniel. First, I'll introduce our legal assistant team. We certainly wanted to group together individuals, as teams usually perform better and come up with more innovative solutions. The question then was, what will these teams look like? Psychologist George Miller postulated that the ideal number is 7 plus or minus 2 because humans can only hold about that many numbers in their short-term memory. It turns out there's a lot of evidence supporting this theory. Large groups, specifically anything in the double digits, tend to have increased relationship conflict and suffer from social loafing. Loafing is the phenomenon in which, as a group size becomes larger, the actual output of performance and work diminishes. This happens because a select few core members are labeled as the hardworking individuals and everyone else allows them to do the majority of the work. Taking these things into consideration, we decided on a team of 5. The teams will consist of 2 legal assistants, 1 law clerk, 1 legal secretary, and 1 attorney. The attorney will serve as the leader of the team. Because our law firm is choosing to work in teams, it is necessary to train all of our employees on effective teamwork strategies. The path to effective teamwork and communication begins with team cohesion. Team cohesion is the sense of belonging and dedication felt by group members towards their team. Strong team cohesion is formed through working collectively on group goals, participating in competition with other teams, and simply getting to know each other over time. After teams develop this strong cohesion, the next step is developing high psychological safety. Psychological safety is a measure of how comfortable group members feel in raising questions, admitting fault, and expressing dissent. Team members can develop high psychological safety by building trust and encouraging constructive dissent. The responsibility of building up psychological safety falls mostly on the attorneys, as they will lead most team conversations, meetings, and facilitate conflict within the group. Finally, our goal with team development should be to create an environment that encourages task conflict. Task conflict is the utilization of team disagreement in order to form better decision-making and create more innovative solutions. The importance here is that all of our team members have diverse backgrounds and separate areas of expertise that they can contribute to the team. By creating an environment where our employees feel safe and actually rewarded for giving their input, we are able to improve group decisions and performance. An important side note here is that we want productive conflict, not relationship conflict. Relationship conflict is actually counterproductive and it hurts job performance as well as limits creativity within groups. Attorneys should not encourage this behavior. In addition to effective teamwork training, our law firm will train all of our employees on diversity, equity, and inclusion. These are important interpersonal skills for any company, but it's especially important here at Rankins and Associates as it directly aligns with our company's values and goals. Diversity can be considered a metric of how many differing social backgrounds and ethnicities exist within the company. Diversity is an important factor for success because it provides our company with an increased variety of viewpoints. This can increase both task conflict and creativity. Also, it allows our company to reach a diverse range of clients. Equity is the fair treatment and equal access to opportunity that should be given to all of our employees. The responsibility of enforcing equity in the workplace will greatly fall onto the attorneys as they facilitate discussion within their teams. Attorneys can enforce equity by monitoring the speaking and listening balance. This means that attorneys should look out for members who tend to dominate discussions and actively ask for more passive members to share their opinions. This gives members who may have a barrier to communication an explicit opportunity to share their thoughts and expertise. Inclusion is the active contribution and participation by all team members. Inclusion can be encouraged by attorneys, but it ultimately falls onto the team members to actively participate and contribute. Barriers to inclusion are often language and cultural differences. Team members who speak the chosen language at work or are more socially accepted should take responsibility for being understood. What that means is that these team members should make efforts to slow their speaking pace, try to refrain from dominating conversations, and make more efforts to listen to their colleagues. Team members who are less fluent in the chosen language at work or are less socially accepted should take responsibility for ensuring they contribute to the team. They can do this by actively confirming that they are both being understood by their colleagues and also that they understand what their colleagues are trying to communicate to them. Additionally, these team members should try to refrain from avoidance behaviors. Avoidance behaviors are things such as withdrawing from conversation due to difficulties of communication and also losing interest in their work due to feeling left out. With all that being said, we will now hear from Ryan about our strategies for external communication.
Thank you, Kiana. The last topic that we're going to cover today is external communications. According to the American Bar Association, for law firms specifically, failure to communicate with clients is often cited as the #1 reason for bar complaints. In our firm, legal assistants serve as the first line of communication with clients. Given that, our legal assistants are expected to not only build strong relationships from the outset of first contact, but to also maintain these relationships. In order to build great client relationships, our legal assistants are expected to make the most out of every moment they communicate with the client using the following methods. Practice active listening, remaining positive, sharing information and knowledge in a non-jargon manner that the client can understand. Finally, being open and honest with the client. Once our legal assistants have built the relationship, they must manage it. To properly manage the relationship, they're expected to be proactive, set goals alongside the client, use client relationship management software in order to stay organized. Finally, and most importantly, do sweat the small things. So now that you know that our firm, our mission, and our strategy to accomplish this mission, the last thing that we need is your support. Now I'd like to open the forum for any questions you may have. Thank you.